Our podcast is about connecting with people to make up our stories, our students, professors, and staff. Welcome to the IC Connects podcast. Today we're talking to 3 EPFL team members who know EDIC inside out and share their lockdown story.
Hello, my name is Eileen. I've been working at EPFL for more than 10 years and IC for 3 years. I am the coordinator of the EDIC program.
Hi, I'm Annalisa. I'm Italian and I joined the EDIC doctoral program in March, and I take care of the administrative aspects from second year onward students.
Hello, my name is Cecilia. I've been working at EPFL also for more than 10 years. I take care of welcoming the new students to the program and help with the administration of their first year of study.
What do you think about how EPFL handled the lockdown?
I personally think that EPFL handled the lockdown very well. They started to close everything down before the Confederation guidelines. It might have seemed a bit too hard at the time, but they had to act quickly and they put in place extraordinary measures for PhD students just as quickly. So this cautious policy was the right choice back in March, and I think it still is.
I also think that EPFL handled it very well, and I feel very safe. The administrative procedures put in place by the finance department, the HR, and also the doctoral school, very detailed and very helpful during this period.
For our listeners who aren't familiar with our doctoral program, how would you describe EDIC in a few words?
EDIC handles the academic life cycle of our PhD students whilst they are at EPFL. The program organizes the recruitment of its doctoral candidates, provides them with an administrative and intellectual community on campus, whilst liaising at all levels: EDIC, faculty, lab assistants, HR. It's one of the largest programs on campus with about 250 students.
EDIC is also a very dynamic PhD program, and it's the only one who has a 1-year fellowship.
How did the lockdown affect your work and communication with the students and professors?
Well, having joined EDIC in March, I actually started my job remotely. I had been in Italy just before the outbreak, and I had to isolate myself upon my return. And luckily, just before EPFL went into full lockdown in mid-March, I was in the office for a few days and I had the chance to meet the team. But otherwise, all the communication with colleagues, students, and professor was done via emails or calls. So on one hand, you miss the contact with people, and on the other hand, for someone like me who has just joined the team, it allowed me to have more time to assimilate the EDIC administrative process and the procedures.
For my part, I must say I miss the personal contact with the students and my colleagues, and to see all these people around on the campus being busy, that I missed a lot. Luckily, from day one, Eileen organized to meet frequently with the team by Zoom. This was extremely important for our work and to keep up a positive spirit during this difficult period.
Can you tell us more about the practices you helped put in place during the past months to help students?
We asked the EDIC mentors to reach out to their assigned students. The program director and EDIC staff was always available to meet virtually with students facing difficulties. We have met a couple or two and we were able to guide them along and so on. We also have a great PhD student association, EPIC, And that started organizing activities once the lockdown was eased. And they have also been working in the background, I think. Another thing is, we have, in terms of the program, we had to think about the students that are already present in the program, but we also had to think about those that the incoming students normally that will start this fall. So we had to also organize Zoom information sessions for them, to introduce them to the program, to explain things. Because, you can imagine for them, it's not an easy situation, and they are facing a lot of uncertainties. So we have also put a lot of effort into that as well.
And do you have any feedback on how effective these Zoom sessions have been for students?
So one thing is, let's say before we organize the Zoom sessions, we had a lot of questions coming in, from many different students. And I do have to say that after these Zoom sessions given by the program director with a very detailed presentation, etc., and there was a question and answer session, it helped to reduce the flow of questions. So I think we can take it from there, that it did help.
What was the most challenging for you during the lockdown? How did you overcome this?
I had to organize a virtual open house and some 300 online meetings between the new admits and faculty, which wasn't easy. Luckily, I'm a very organized person, sufficiently IT savvy, with the memory of an elephant. Mm-hmm. My colleagues are always annoyed about that. I also have no qualms about chasing down people. But at the same time, it did mean a lot of hours online.
For me, I would say studying and assimilating the extraordinary procedures put in place during these exceptional times. Fortunately, I work with a cohesive team that supported me, and they took the time to explain how it normally works so that I could better understand the exceptional measures. In the beginning, it wasn't easy to organize working from home because I have a 4-year-old daughter and the schools were closed. But eventually, I managed to find the right balance, setting a sort of schedule, although my daughter did end up participating in some of my meetings.
And what about you, Cecilia?
It was new procedures put in place and handling the administrative forms and signatures by email. We are used to have everything paper, so it's a new way of working. Also, in the first 2 months, I worked from my bedroom. My children and husband also worked from home, so we had to get organized and find a place for everyone. It was very nice to have everyone at home, but also sometimes challenging with the noise and preparing all the meals for the whole family.
And what would you say helped you all remain motivated and focused while working remotely? We've all been through it, during these different phases of lockdown and semi-confinement. How did you deal with this?
I had something very strange happen to me is when the lockdown was first announced. I remember speaking with Cecilia over Zoom. I used to have a dog that passed away recently. Just when I can be at home and I can go out for walks and so on with my dog, I find myself all alone. And a few days after the lockdown, a friend of mine broke her leg, and I ended up recuperating her dog, going out for a walk early in the morning and the late afternoon pretty much helped in setting the schedule to my workday. I also found that contact with my neighbors greatly improved. I would go out on my balcony to drink a coffee, and there was always someone around to chat with. Maybe it's an advantage to living in a small village in the countryside.
And what about you, Annalisa?
For me, I'd say curiosity, the desire to learn how EPFL and the EDIC program work made me stay motivated. I sure had to give myself a rhythm that helped me stay focused, because the risk of working from home in the long run is that you don't perceive the time passing and you forget to take care of your needs or do some pauses. So it's important to set some routine, I think.
For me, the EDIC team was very important. The daily meetings and contacts by Zoom was very important for me. Personally, I like to go running in the woods, so that I also kept on doing. Also, we met once, Eileen, Annalisa and myself. We went to Eileen's place. We had a picnic together, and with the dog also that Eileen just mentioned, and with the daughter, Annalisa's daughter. And we went on the countryside to collect strawberries. That was really nice. It was a nice day, really. We spent some good time together, and it also helps to do things like this for the team, to keep the team.
And we met Annalisa's daughter. Yes. Bizarrely enough, her name is also Cecilia.
Oh,
yeah.
But pronounced in Italian
way.
Very good. What lessons learned during the lockdown do you think you'll apply in the future?
It might sound strange to hear, but communication and information sharing within the team greatly improved. I believe that's partly due to the daily Zoom meetings between the three of us that I put in place from the first day of the lockdown. And we really plan to continue with this practice in person, of course. We are just wondering how we will be able to share our screens.
And I agree. The lockdown forced us to stay at home. I understood how important it is to communicate, share experiences and thoughts. It helps make us feel part of a community and be more collaborative.
And I also realized that we are lucky to work from the EPFL campus. It's a beautiful place, international people, many young people also. And I missed that as well. I realized I missed that. Yeah.
And have you been back on campus by any chance?
Yes, the team returns to the campus every Thursday. From my side, I had the strange sensation driving in the first day that I was starting a whole new job all over again. I mean, I could feel my stomach curl. Otherwise, it's still pretty quiet.
Yeah, for me, it's not really going back on campus. It's rather finally going on campus. And Eileen and Cecilia and I are there every Thursday, and it's nice to see them in person and see the office. And yeah, for now it's very quiet, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it will be when the academic year starts in September.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you soon in person.
Me too.